Okay, I got a really good joke for you guys. By the way, all right, I'm now thinking about going into stand-up. Probably not. You know what I like to do on some of my drum education shows? I like to do impersonations and I like to tell really bad jokes. I go to this support group. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's one of those anonymous programs for something that I go to, and it has to do with eating. But anyway, and at the end of the meeting, they have, they call it an afterglow. It's kind of like a parking lot where the people at the meeting get to, kick stuff out. It's a pretty cool place. I don't advertise it. It's a private thing. But anyway, and so at the end of the meeting, we have a joke section where people can tell jokes. And I like to do my impersonations there and my jokes. And you guys know right how bad I am, so it's the only place I can get away with it, If I was to go over to governors and stand up and do my impersonations, I don't think they would hire me back. In fact, they'd probably ask me to leave, I'm not good. But, my Reagan isn't too bad, My President Reagan isn't too bad. Well, it's difficult to say. Needless to say, it's difficult to say. But this is a really good one, all right? I like this one. It's a music joke. I'll tell you two jokes now, right? First one, all right, I don't know where I heard it, but I've been telling it since. It's really cool. You can use it right in any context. The guy goes right to the wise one, very old man, who gives advice to people and tells people about life. He says, "Oh, dear wise one, I'm really concerned that when I go into the afterlife, when I pass away, is there going to be drumming in heaven? I'm really concerned about that because, I love the drums and I want to keep playing, in my afterlife." So the wise one goes to him, "Well, I have some good news for you, son. Up in heaven right now, as we speak, Buddy Rich is playing, group is playing, Sir Louis Bellson is playing right now. There are also some really good guitar players up there that are playing with them. Jimi Hendrix is playing, Terry Kath from Chicago is playing, Alvin Lee is playing. They're all jamming up there. It's amazing. Joe Ascione is playing. He was great." So he goes, "Oh, that's really good to know. Wow, I was worried about that. I didn't know, I was so nervous, So then the wise one goes to him, "But," and this is really good, "but I have some bad news for you, my son." And he goes, "What's that?" "Tomorrow, all right, night, you're trading fours with Buddy." Okay, I got another one. The guy goes, "Oh, man. Oh, my tooth. Oh, it hurts." He goes to the dentist. By the way, I've lost most of my teeth, so I can really identify with this one. I didn't take good care of my teeth. I should have. I still have my front teeth, but I got a lot of missing hardware in there. So the guy goes to the dentist and he says, "Oh, it hurt. Oh, man, I feel like I got a knife going through my mouth." So the dentist says, "Open up." And he opens up his mouth. And the dentist looks at it, takes an x-ray, as all good dentists would do. And he goes, "I got bad news for you, right? The tooth it's not really savable. Can't fix it. It's going to have to come out. I have a lot of teeth that have to come out still. Don't ask me. I'm not looking forward to that." I remember going to Dr. Morris. He's retired now, right? And I would have teeth removed. And when he would come into the room, right, I would go, he goes, "How you doing?" And I would say to him, "I was hoping you wouldn't show, Not a fun thing to get." So anyway, the dentist says, "It's going to have to come out." There's nothing we can do. And the guy goes, well, all right, how much is it going to cost to take it out? Oh, I don't know, about $300. The guy goes, $300? How long, does it take for you to, to pull it out? I don't know, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. If you're unlucky, maybe 10 seconds, if it's a hard tooth to get out. But, we'll have you numbed up. It won't hurt too much. So the guy goes, $300 for 10 seconds? What a ripoff. Can't you do any better than that? So the dentist goes, well, if you'd like to pull it out, I could take as long as you want to pull it out. That is really, really good. That's my joke for today. So, I don't really have any other jokes. I think the thing is try to be happy, figure some good jokes out. Now, there's a lot of jokes that I can't tell you guys, not up here. I know a Gomer Pyle joke, that is totally outrageous. All right, I'll tell you one more. It's a Rodney Dangerfield joke. This is really, really good. Well, I told this one already, but I'll tell it again. It's really good. Guy goes into a bar and he says, he was really depressed. His car had been ripped off, God damn, So he wanted to get his mind off it, so he went to a bar to have a couple of drinks to take his mind off the thing. So he sits down, and the bartender comes over to him and goes, what'll it be? So Rodney says, surprise me. He shows me a picture of my stolen car that he stole. That was really good. All right. Finally, when I was born, oh yeah, I got this one from Dice Clay, That guy is really funny. But, you don't want to take your kids to see him, But I'll tell you one that I could tell you up here. When I was born, the doctor, smacked me on the rear end. And I said, what's your problem? All right, one more. This is a Rodney joke. Oh, by the way, Andrew Dice Clay got his start on the Rodney Dangerfield Comedy Hour. It was his big break. After he appeared on that, he was playing for audiences. He's really, that thing is he's a little lewd. He's a little on the edgy side. He talks, but the thing is it's funny, I like him. I like Howard Stern. So a lot of people don't like those guys, because they're a little lewd. And Andrew, he's got a mouth, pretty filthy mouth. But, once in a while, you want to just lay back and be that way. But, so anyway, here's the final joke. Rodney Dangerfield joke. Wait, what was it now? Oh, I know what it is. Similar to the Andrew Dice Clay joke. What was it now? I forgot. Oh, when I was born, the doctor said to the mother, I did everything I could, but he pulled through anyway. That was a pretty good one. Listen, you guys have to know, I don't get any respect. I'll tell you, go online. This is where I got these jokes from, by the way. And type in Rodney Dangerfield's top 100 jokes. They're from his whole career. From the very beginning when he was on the Dean Martin show and the Ed Sullivan show, all the way up till when he was on Conan O'Brien. And it was really cool. I'll tell you guys a really touching thing. Just before Rodney had passed away, I think it was one of his later birthdays. I don't know how long he lived. I'm sorry he left. He was so cool. He was the best comic that ever lived. Those one-liners. He was on, I think he was on Conan O'Brien. Either Conan O'Brien or Letterman or Leno. I'm not sure which show he was on. And it was his birthday, so they brought him out like a birthday cake. He was just before he passed away, so he must have been, I don't know how old he was, but he was older, at that time. His hair was red, so I guess he made it that color. Pretty cool color, Rodney used to joke right about smoking reefer because he had it medically for his eye or something. So he would joke about that. Yeah, it was like some kind of eye condition, and he smoked reefer right for that. I guess it was medical. Now it's legal in New York, so it doesn't matter. But back then. So here's what's cool, right? They bring out. Guess who brings out the birthday cake? You're not gonna believe who brought it out. Jim Carrey comes out and brings out the birthday cake. I think he gave him like a kiss on the cheek or something. And that was really, really cool. Rodney was really, really happy. Jim Carrey, right? Top comic right of our time. Right? That guy, right? Masterful. Had such respect, right, for Rodney. Last thing, if it wasn't for Rodney Dangerfield, him, Don Rickles, Lenny Bruce, Rich Little, those guys. If it wasn't for those guys, you wouldn't have had like Robin Williams, you wouldn't have had Jim Carrey, because those guys have made comedy a substantial career on television, if you were good, Carrey was a lunatic. I'll tell you one last story. I saw Jim Carrey. I'm pretty positive that I saw him. He was performing. I was playing at this club called Wee Scotty's way back, a long time ago. Tony had a club. It's a pretty cool club, all right? I played there with Magic Touch. Yeah, I played there with the Magic Touch. I also played there a little later, with Marty Powers, Greg Jolly, and Josie. We had like a top 40 kind of thing going. But I remember a long time ago when I was playing, probably with the Magic. Oh yeah, I also played there with Casino, Ronnie, and I forgot the. Oh yeah, John Lador on bass. Really cool. I played that club a lot. But once in a while, Tony had like a comedy night, and so there were different comedians there. And I'm pretty positive that I saw Jim Carrey there. It was a long time ago, in the 70s. It was before, he had achieved, his international stardom. And I remember, the reason why I remember, and I knew it was him, he did that slow motion thing that he used to do, the football thing, when, like the slow motion football film of him, slow motion. He did that. There was something else he did that I forgot what it was he did. And, my impression was this guy, is really good. And, funny enough, then I remember, some years later, I don't know how many years later, seeing him on the big TV. And knowing, that he was going to definitely make it. And if you guys go online, type in Jim Carrey's very first performance on The Tonight Show. He was extraordinary. He did impersonation, he did Elvis, he did some political guys, he did Clint Eastwood. Last final thing, because Jim Carrey, he was such an impressionist, had really great use of different voices. He was the first guy. I don't know if he was the first, but when he, when he screen tested for the movie The Mask, Jim Carrey's an extraordinary actor, but when he did The Mask, which is probably one of my favorite movies of all time, that movie was great. The fact that he had all these different mannerisms and impersonationisms and ways that he could shift his voice and contort his body. He used to be able to do things with his body, that were way out there, Must have been in really good physical condition to do that stuff. So when he did that, when The Mask came, he was perfect for that part because he had all these different all those different voices that he used. You know, when he did the Clint Eastwood thing, that was pretty cool. And then he did, he had this funny laugh, and then when he said, somebody stop me, you know, all that stuff. And that was a really good movie. You watch that movie, it also had some really good effects in it. So anyway, that's my comedy shtick for today. And you know, if I could have did something else with my life, I would have been a stand-up comedian. So that's why I did my bit here, right? Because I'd never make it in Hollywood. Well, I mean, I might make it on the stage as a drummer. Only God knows that. So anyway, may the force be with you.